become a person of influence that people buy from or work with. So I'm about to go do a garage workout, but I was like, no, I'm going to hop and film this and talk to you because it's been on my mind all morning. Even as I was driving Xavier to school this morning, I was like, man, like thinking about influence, how to build it, how it looks different for different niches. So in today's chat today with you, I want to share how I've built my own influence to have a business where I'm bringing in 5 figures a month, but without working more than 10 hours a week, having to be on every platform. Like I don't even remember my TikTok login. I primarily am just here on YouTube and on Facebook. Many people make the mistake of thinking that to build your influence, you have to have like a fancy website or you need like 10,000, 100,000 followers. That's not true at all. And I'll prove to you today why that's not true. So let's talk about influence. So what is influence? It's really just in being the person that someone listens to have them do something, right? So it might have them change their viewpoint or their belief on something. It might help them actually like take an action. And then they start to listen to you. Okay. So basically, influence equals people listening to you. So when we look at social media and building influence, like everyone isn't created equal. Okay. Like I hate to break it to you, like Sally starts a business or starts talking about her business online. And then you have Joe who starts talking about his business online. Two people the same day start talking about a business online. Well, Sally, she has been pretty active on social media for years. Okay. She hasn't sold a thing. She has told funny stories and maybe it's just things about her kids, but she's been very active and very real and vulnerable and authentic and talking about things. Okay. So she already has a fair amount of influence with the people that she has been interacting with. Okay. And it doesn't matter again how many people, it could be 50, it could be 10,000. Joe, on the other hand, has really been silent or he only shares things. He doesn't really ever share any of his own personal life on social. Okay. So he has no influence. They both start a business the same day. Guess whose business really takes off? Sally's, right? It makes sense. And this is very much talking about like a Facebook approach, but YouTube can have the same approach, like same feeling as well. It's just that the format of the content is going to be different. It's going to be like a longer form video. This is very much a Facebook approach. Okay. So Sally has high influence in that case. Joe has low influence. Okay. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense when we're like, what is influence? Okay. It isn't necessarily likes or comments or hearts or things like that on a post, but it can be. Okay. And when we look at different niches and industries, influence is going to look different on how you build and create that. Okay. So you kind of have like your coaches, your therapists, and all of that like style. And then you're going to have a totally different way to build your influence. Say if you're selling, say you're a landscaper and you have a landscaping business or painting business, or you're a hairstylist. Okay. How you build your influence is going to look different than say someone like me who is a marketing coach or a career coach. Okay. Where I'm kind of guiding people through a journey and a path to get a result. Whereas this is more like you're having someone pay you for a quick service that's immediate, right? So let's talk about the coach, the therapist type of view, and then I'll talk about how I would build influence, say if I was a hairstylist or a painter, or this could even get into some of your network marketers with things that you're selling product-wise if you're focused very much on the product. And if you hear the little tip, 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 that's Marathon. That's my dogs here. They're at my feet. Okay. As a coach, where I'm primarily going to be talking to people and leading them through a journey, one of the ways that I'm going to build influence is more through a written type of post or a long form video. Now, can you get quick views with a reel or something like that? Sure. But I'm still a believer that there's a level of diving deep, right? Like I need to be doing a video like this where I'm really leading you through a process or telling you something. I could also be just sharing a personal story from my life, but I am going deep. Even recently, I'd put up something on social media talking about being angry at God and just sharing just a really hard time in my life and the struggles I went through. And people read that post and then they reread that post. Some engaged and commented on it, but it was going deep. Okay. So there's a level, I think, as a coach where you kind of need to do that. You need to be showing up. And whether you're talking about personal beliefs or you're going deep when it comes to the business process that you're walking someone through, what that looks like, you're going to be taking time writing content. Okay. Whereas now let's transition to someone that say is like a hairstylist. I don't really care what personal journeys my hairstylist has been through. Now, in terms of how well she can do hair, Okay. So this is where you kind of see the difference. Or like a landscaper, for example, like he's selling me a service. Okay. Whereas your coach is someone that you need to really jive with and believe in and be like, wow, we have gone through so many of the same things, right? Like some similarities in their life, right? Maybe they have kids. Maybe they, like for me, I tend to connect with moms really well who don't want to hustle their ass off because I don't believe that you have to do that to build a lasting business. You need to focus on the right activities to get the right result. Whereas the landscaper, you really just care, hey, like, can they trim my palm trees like perfectly? Like, can they keep the weeds, the grass out where I don't want it to be and the rocks? Like, is it going to look good at the end of the day? So it's very like before and after. Okay. So when we get to the service type of niche, right? So right now I want you to be thinking, okay, where does my business fall in this? Like, am I more the like, where I need to be going deep and the person needs to have some of the same values and they're really sharing like a coaching process with me that is going to be more written? Or is my business more like the quick fix where people don't really care about all the other details? Okay. Because if it's more the quick fix or the quicker transformation, I should say, then people really are going to be caring more about seeing the work you do. Okay. The before and after. They're going to want to see, like, hey, here's the landscape, like, view before of the front yard. Here's the transformation after. Here's how much it costs. Here's our guarantee on the service, and boom, like done. Same with hair, right? Like if you're doing hair, you need to be showing a lot of pictures, be it in a reel, in a written post, with photos, with video, whatever it is. You need to be sharing a lot of images showing like the transformation from before to after. Okay. That is going to sell so much better. Whereas someone like me, sure, I will share some testimonials and stuff showing that my clients are actually getting results, but I also need to be sharing a lot more personal depth, my life a little bit more. That's how I do it. There are other ways to do this, but this is just my way that I have done it, working about 10 hours a week and building a scalable business without it taking over my life, right? Like honestly, this is the only business activity that I'm doing today, and it's going to take me about 15 minutes. I talked about this a lot last week in my video, A Freedom Focused Business, and what to do to create that. You can watch it here. So anywho, I want you to tell me below in the comments which side your business falls under. Freedom, like when it comes to, are you doing more where you need to be going in depth and sharing a lot more, or where you are just needing to more show the transformation before to after and not so much needing all of the talking. And before I go into my tips, if you're not on my newsletter, pop in it. I give you a bunch of free things right when you join at the beginning that are super valuable to help you grow your business, including 5 of the top downloaded PDFs from my membership that are straight from inside my paid membership. You can grab those for free when you join my email newsletter, stephanieparisi.com. So here's how to build that influence. Okay. So whether you're on which side of the fence you're on. Okay. So first of all, you're going to need to do this type of content consistently if you're on social media. It's going to be a lot longer than you think that you need to do it. Okay. I would suggest 90 days to 180 days, right? Of really pouring into it before you're like, this works or it doesn't work. Okay. Because if you're on social media for 6 months, diving deep into your network, they're going to, my son is peeking in the door. You can come say hi, Jake. Say hi and wave, and then I'm going to keep going. Okay. Can I keep filming? Say goodbye. All right. Bye, Jake. You're going to need to show up consistently for a longer time than you think. And this is where the work really comes into play. But it's magical. So if you do it for 180 days, and again, I would break it down kind of by your content pillars of the main things you serve and you offer. But again, think about it from the viewer standpoint, the landscaper who is posting these beautiful images of all the work that he's been doing, the care that he puts into it. People are going to start looking at those pictures and being like, oh man, my yard needs that. It's like, my roses really need to be trimmed down. There's weeds. Like it would look so much better if he did it than I did it. The work involved, the time involved, right? So they're going to start to see that and be comparing it to their own thing. Okay. Same thing with the hairstylist. If you're posting pictures of your work, how you do things, and people see, they're going to be like, wow, her blonde hair, like for me, I get my roots done, right? So they're going to be like, wow, her roots look so good. Like week after week, I'm going to ask her like to do my hair. Okay. So they're going to start to see this and they're going to bring you to mind because, people see about 6% of what you post on Facebook. So it's going to take a hot minute. So that's why you got to be doing it for a long time. Okay. Whereas if you're the coach, people need to see, and like it takes a while. Like think about how long it takes you to become friends with someone. A hot minute, right? You might like someone right away, but like to really get to know them to where you're going to trust them to invest, it's going to take some time. And so that's where, your frequency of sharing those details and building that influence is going to take time. Now, will you always have to show up? Say you were showing up daily for 180 days. Are you going to have to do that like for 10 years? No, like I don't have to do it as much anymore because I have done it consistently for years. Okay. So it does build. Like what you do at the beginning of your business, you don't have to keep doing down the road. Okay. It's going to change. Your priorities are going to change. I'm not saying that you don't have to do it at all, but it's going to change. Okay. So, first of all, you're going to commit to doing it consistently. If you want my help to figure out what to do and show up consistently for those 180 days, join my membership, the pack. Okay. I'll help you do it. You can also work with me one-on-one. All right. Go to stephanieparisi.com, join my email list, reply to the email that you get sent immediately that you want to work more with me, and I'll help you figure it out. Okay. So the next thing to do is when you're creating that content, focus on talking to one person and not the masses. Okay. So like again, in this video, like I'm talking to you, right? I'm not being like, oh, everybody, hey, right? So you want to personalize it immediately because when we speak to the one person, like I'm not thinking again of the thousands of people out there. Now, would I love for this video to help a lot of people in their businesses? Sure. But I really care that it helps you in your business, right? So you're going to address your content to one person. It's going to make a difference. All right. So think of that one person in your mind right now that is your ideal person to work with and then talk to them.